So let's continue with some calculations here within Power BI. We've been working on these calculations. See the other parts of these videos. There's multiple versions of these. I think we're on episode 8, but go ahead and look at it. But today we're going to talk about the difference between calculating based on the sum of data within a column within your data set, which in this example is Excel, versus adding these variables that you have already created. So stay tuned. This is a pretty simple thing to do, and we'll jump right to it. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're calculating. Let's look at this one here, expected end sum, and see exactly what we're doing here, first of all. So let's take a look at that code. So here we're calculating and we're saying the gross profit, the sum, we're collecting data, right? Numeric values here, sum. So we're adding up all the gross profits in the table data. So you can see that. But then we've applied to that same calculate strand a filter that says only count the ones where risk level is equal to expected end. And then the +0 on the end is to keep that so that it always shows a numeric value, even if nothing's there. And an example of that is here where we're seeing zeros. If we didn't have the 0 in there, it would give us some other language. I can't remember what it is, but nonetheless, that's how that works. Okay, so that's what we're collecting, expected and sum. So if you don't have that formula, pause the video and collect it. That's a good one. And that's for calculating a sum in one column based on a filter of another column within the data set. And you can span multiple data sets. In this example, we only have one. Now, how do we get a total for that column? So we can get a total of the gross profit easily by just doing a sum, and notice there that it's just a sum command, data being the table that we're pulling from and gross profit being the field. So we're just summarizing everything in that field. That gives us, though, a total without, that's not with the filter that we saw in this example with the filter there, expected end. Now, there's another way. So we have that gross profit risk, and then here are the ones with the filters right here. All of these, if you notice here, let's see if I can select all 4 of them. You can't see them over there, but you can see them right here: stable sum, pending sum, high-end sum, and expected end. These are all variables that we have already set up, and I showed you an example of that. So this was one way we just showed, right? This is one way of calculating, but there is a second way, which is this way right here. So this basically takes and counts up all of those variables. And if you notice in this formula, we're just taking those variables, stable, expected end, high, and pending, and we're calculating all of them together as variables. And you're going to need this in certain things that you build. And again, that +0. But here's one thing that may throw you for a loop. So we've talked about how to set up these individual variables. You see them all down there, and now you see all those variables represented here, all good. Now let's just say that we want to add another, or we're adding these. Here, we'll take off pending sum so you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. So when you type in sum, don't be confused that you need to hit sum. Notice down on your list that you have those variables that you've already collected. That data is already in memory, ready for you to pull it. So if you hit sum here, now notice that it's looking for the column name. I put the parenthesis in there. It's looking for the column name, and notice that you don't see this column, right? Because it's not going to be there because it's a variable. So sum, and then look at your list. This one happens, we took away pending. So we're just going to click on that. It's already done for us. Hit OK, and we're golden. Everything works just the way it's supposed to. And so 2 different ways to get at the same goal built upon variables that we've established from this data set. And it all works, right? Everything readjusts As you drill down, everything's good and exactly the way we want it.